And welcome into game number 2 here of the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament. The Rockridge town, I always say it, I gotta say it anyway. Mel Brooks reference, you can't not use it. In the town of Rockridge. and the Central Camp Point Panthers, you gotta say stuff like that whenever you get a chance to do so. And Fort Rockridge played a little bit of bigger competition, and not the record that you necessarily doesn't look that gaudy, but as you mentioned to me before the game, when you look at who they play, that's not too bad.
Now they're 7-4 coming into the tournament, Greg, and they've played teams like Moline and Rocky and St. Rita and Seneca and another club out of Chicago that coach Jordan Harris told me they'd played. It's by design. It really is. They went deep into the tournament last year, had a good run down to the Canton sectional. Played some good teams in Class 2A sectional down there in Macomb and Manual, and it was a whale of a sectional tournament. And for them to advance past that and get into state tournament play, I think that's why the schedule is the way it is. You might take a few lumps early in the year. It's almost as if you're, like Western Illinois plays a tough schedule of road games. Before the OBC play, they play some up conferences to get yourself ready for OBC play. It's the same thing here for Rockridge. And the Rockets bring back a lot of talent from last year's team. They did lose a lot of talent, but they bring back Landon Bull, who was a bull in this tournament last year.
Yes, he was.
And they go up against a Camp Point team that comes in a little bit struggling right now. They're very young, just one senior on the roster. They're 3-8 on the season, and Coach Barnett said that they will do their best. They will not press. They understand this is a bigger floor. They understand it's a more experienced team. They're going to try to play aggressive in the half court, and if you press, it costs a lot of energy. So
it does.
They're going to try to sit back. They're going to play some half court defense with good pressure, but you will not see a press out of Camp Point Central. We'll see if the Panthers can keep this one close against a highly regarded Rockridge team.
And they are one of the, what were they, the number 2 seed in this tournament?
Number 3, I believe.
Number 3 seed. So one of the top 4 seeds here. And I tell you what, it could be the Lania West Chargers already punching their ticket as they defeated the Brown County Hornets by about 9. What was the final score? 48-39 final score of that one. As one team has already jumped onto the winner's side of things. And, of course, we're here on the Ron Elby Auto pregame show. And you're listening to, of course, TSSR Game Time Live. As we go along here, glad to have you alongside. I'm Greg Phelps. This is BJ Stone with me. 2 old guys at broadcast. Another episode of BJ and the Bald Guy.
And as I'm sure you figured out, folks, on TSSR Live on YouTube, after each game, click out of it, find the next game. You can watch the whole tournament that way.
And that way, if you want to go back and watch it, you don't force somebody to watch or fast forward through like 18 hours of coverage. And it's going to be Rockridge's philosophy coming through. Of course, I remember back Toby Whiteman going through that group. Of course, Ethan Happ, one of the guys that they had, a very, very good player. Had some really, really good talent coming through that Rockridge program for a school that's just, to be honest with you folks, out in the middle of nowhere. If you have to find it, it's hard to describe. I even had one night that it drove my GPS nuts.
There's a few of those in West Central Illinois. United's a hard one to find for me. The school for Spoon River Valley when they host a game.
Yes. Yeah, they. That's what I always kind of laugh about with the way they've done things. It's funny. Yeah, I know the United is always confusing, especially me. I coach on the junior high side of things, where you have this one school's on one side, the other school's on the other side of Monmouth. Always, and you got Monmouth Roseville set in the middle, which they'll be here later on this afternoon.
And the real fun co-ops and consolidations are when a co-op goes through one town to get to another.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when Bushnell-Prairie City co-opted with West Prairie, Macomb's between them.
Yes.
Well, a little bit south, but between them.
And yeah, and those type of things will drive you crazy, folks.
All right, Camp Point's going to start number 4, Tatum Eichen. He's a junior. Number 21, Corbin Hoosier, a sophomore. Number 30, Briggs Wiskerson, a sophomore. Number 32, Caden Niekamp, a junior. Niekamp. And Elijah Jennenbacher, a senior, the only senior on the roster. For Rockridge, they go with number 3, Caleb Kunico, senior. Number 4, Landon Wheatley. Number 12, Balin Leemans. Number 24, Wade Reichert. And 34, Landon Bull. 4 seniors and just the 1 sophomore in Reichert.
And Bull just put one on the way, missed it. Now here come the Panthers. Back with it up the court is Eichen. Wheeling around there really quick. They're not very big. They're young, not very big. And they've got the football build, if you will. See several of the guys, they bounce around into the lane. It was Wiskerson. Lost the ball, traveled with it, turns it over.
Usually it takes, with a football team, a few weeks to get from football shape into basketball shape. But by Christmas, by the holiday tournaments, they should be in basketball shape.
Yep.
Different set of muscles used in basketball. More jumping, less physical contact, you think.
Yeah, well, depending on your officials. That's all I'm going to say about that, or I'll get in trouble. And loose ball picked up by Eichen. It'll be Camp Point Central basketball.
Panthers in black today.
And I thought that was kind of interesting. They introduced Rockridge first, who was the home team. They introduced the what I would consider the visiting team second. And now they're working on the outside, coming to Genbacher, and he flings it over to the Rockridge bench. They are not in play.
Interesting, Rockridge only with 4 players on the bench, playing total roster of 9. There's about 9 guys dressed and not playing right now for Camp Point Central. So in a tug-of-war, Camp Point Central, I think, has the early advantage.
They might. And I'm telling you, this actually looks like what the 9 o'clock game normally does. You saw a nice pass in there by Rickert, and couldn't get in, but it seems like people get coming out of the mud a little bit so far.
Well, usually by this time you've had a bowl of Wheaties and 2 classes, not a basketball game.
Yeah.
Right? Does anybody eat Wheaties anymore?
I assume they do. I'm not a big cereal guy. I'm the biscuits and gravy guy, as you can tell if you see me.
I'm Captain Omelet.
Does that come with a cape?
It does. Part of the French Army. Captain Omelet.
There you go. Lehman's brings it out top as they continue to work it around here. Bull put up a long 3 earlier, and we saw a little bit of that. I saw the Chargers adjust a little bit because it's just a psychological thing. You go behind the 3-point line, which is actually the college 3-point line, and then they put one on the inside of it, but it's a big psychological thing.
Well, especially when the floor is painted dark and light at the college line. Your eyesight, your peripheral looks down and says, that's the 3-point line.
Yeah. Cunico, the nice cut and basket, makes it 2-0. Right back there comes Camp Point Center. It wasn't Cunico, it was Rickert that swatted that one away.
Camp Point goes to the bench.
As coming in, Luke Ippinson. Also checking in, Colin Bachhold. And number 10, Cruz Miles. And
those first 2 you mentioned, freshmen, and the third a sophomore. So here comes the youth movement now for Camp Point Central.
Rockridge leads it. We're off to a blistering pace of 2-0. And now they're bringing it across. Cunico bringing it out top. He'll wheel it over for Wheatley. Wheatley, the Bull. He'll set a screen for Cunico. Wanted to drop him off on the screen and roll. Couldn't find anything. Panthers putting on man-to-man. They drive underneath, kick out. Nice job out to Cunico. 3, no good. And the rebound, good block out. Nice check out there by Ippinson. And he'll rock it up the floor. Threw it through the hands of Wheatley and out of bounds.
Tell you what, if this is an indication of the whole tournament, we're going to see a lot of really good underclassmen. A couple of good freshmen from Brown County. The freshman Ippinson looking good for Central. And CPC, as they say.
The step back 3 put up by Genenbacher. And then on the rebound, a Bull got fouled and must have got chopped in the nose.
Right across the bridge of the nose, make your eyes water.
Backel picks up his first. And now Cunico, and this is one of the tallest players on the floor. He's the one dribbling it up now. Wings it out for Lehman's. Lehman's up top. Now they find Bull underneath. And a size mismatch, and then the hatchet job by Niekamp.
Got a couple of guys in the air, and it was his choice what he was going to do with it. Go to the line and shoot a couple, Will Landon.
Actually, they're going to say that was on the floor.
No, and I don't disagree. It's just automatic shooting foul anymore in a lot of cases.
Yeah. I'm a coach. I never disagree with the officials, ever. Shot on the way and three-point.
Right.
And now here they'll come. Genenbacher in a hurry up the court. Lobs it out over for Niekamp. Niekamp with a couple bounces. And now for Ippenson. Ippenson looking. Down the corner. Going to bring it into the post. And they'll go to work. Fade is no good. And the rebound, Bull snapping it up. He'll lead the charge. Kick it out to Cunico. He'll run in the lane, lay it up, and just laid it short. Another rebound by Genenbacher, and here they'll come, 2-0. 4:20 and counting in this first quarter of play. As they continue to work, Ippenson out top. And
offensive foul.
And illegal screen, I would assume.
4 fouls in the Panthers here early, none on the Rockets. And that'll lead to a timeout to talk about things. That's the second foul already on the junior Caden Niekamp. So the score is low. The fouls are adding up on Camp Point Central.
And we're going to take this timeout. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We are back to action here as coming across the way is Wheatley. He'll work it out to Bull. And into the game is Chase Wheatley. Bull just literally bowled his way to the basket, puts it up and in and good. And Rockridge leads 4-0.
Aptly named.
Yes. Now they work. Genenbacher swinging it out top for Miles. Pass taken away, stolen by Wheatley. Landon Wheatley in the lane, goes up. Kind of bounced off a defender, missed it. Rickert the rebound, bounced around again, puts it up again, no good. Cunico gets the board, puts it up, yes, and it counts.
Cunico and Rickert have a big advantage in height inside, experience as well. 3 offensive rebounds allowed is going to be a hard thing for Camp Point Central to overcome.
And Evan Walker will check in. Ippenson will go out. Also checking in for the Hoosier back in. And Cunico makes it. So an 8-0 or a 7-0 lead here for the Rockridge Rockets so far. As they work here, as Miles nearly trapped on the sideline, got away from trouble, puts it up and hit the back of the stanchion. As you see Mr. Chris Dewar under the basket there. Of course, he'll have highlights. Bull out with it. Works it to Landon Wheatley. They bounce it into Bull. Bull just outman and a little too strong on that one. Out to Cunico. He'll put up a 3 and make the Sports Corner 3. 10-0 lead here. As the Rockridge Rockets going back to work, working it up is Hoosier. They bring it in the lane. Nice job inside. Just couldn't get the basket to go. Rebound, Hoosier able to put it up and in, and the Panthers are on the board, clawing their way into the scorebook.
We talked earlier during the first game about the fact that this is a wide open tournament. You're looking at the number 3 seed in Rockridge because of those 4 losses.
Yep.
And you're seeing what they can do as Cunico hits yet another 3, and that young man already has 11 points.
So a 13-2 lead here. Genenbacher trapped out top over to Miles. Miles as the Bull gets ready to jump at him. Lobs it out. Working here, drives the lane, tried to loop it up, and that one is stolen by Rickert. Bull ahead of the pack going in, and just a whoop-de-doo puts it up and in. Miles just
got tripped up. He's looking for the foul.
Panthers will come back the other way. 15-2 the lead now. Gettenbacher holds, waits, gets a screen, and a blocking foul whistled on at Landon Wheatley. There's more than one Wheatley, so yes, you could say there's a crop of Wheatleys on the Rockridge Rocket team. You knew that was a danger when you do a game with me.
Would you call it a bushel?
I might.
A bushel of Wheatleys on the floor.
Also checking in. Gonna get that. There we go. Number 10, Magnum Chisholm. Now that sounds like a movie star name, and a nice job by a nice catch on the sideline.
Yeah, coach is ready to catch and shoot.
Yep. But you got to be. You got to be ready every time. Jordan Harris made the catch on the sideline, and now Rockridge will bring it up. Bull out top with it in the lane to Cunico. Has a big advantage on Ippenson, and
call that before the shot, which is the right call. The contact was made when he's still on the ground. Ippenson will get called for the foul. Cunico gave him all the moves there, didn't he?
He did, and then just finally a shove would put it kindly, but created room, created separation, I guess you would say. Cunico up at the free throw line, puts it on the way and gets it. He has been red hot to start here, and it's a 16-2 lead.
12-point first quarter unofficially for Cunico.
Second one's good as well.
That would be 13.
And now Wiskirchen will bring it up quickly to Ippenson. Ippenson looking at Holden. Throws it out top, and they are just all over him. They in the lane, they fire it across. Ippenson three on the way, off the top of the backboard. Nice job by Miles snaking in there to get the rebound. He'll be found from behind by Chase Wheatley.
And he'll shoot two. Nope, he will not. That's two on the Rockets. 5 fouls down to Panthers, sorry.
Nope, you're all right. Ippenson bringing in to Wiskirchen. Passes back to Ippenson, he'll hold. And Cunico, nice, moving his feet there, and pass taken away. They'll fire it quickly, and Ippenson steals it right back. Wiskirchen in the lane on Cunico, and just says, nope, I don't think so. As you see the up-close look at it.
Coming right into your living room or perhaps your man cave if that's where your computer is sitting.
Lobs it out, nearly had it taken away. Out to Ippenson again, the three blocked. Cunico working around, fires it to Rickard in the lane, goes up and is fouled in there. Ippenson, that's at least his second.
And a good look by Cunico to find Rickard available.
And Bull will come in along with Landon Wheatley coming back. You can see Jordan Harris shuffling guys in and out, in and out, in and out. And actually it is Richard. I just heard the WRMJ play-by-play guy. So it is Richard. Apologize for that. Ready's the second one. It is both of them. No good. Still 17-2, 54 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Panthers work it up. Out on the outside with it is Eichen. Gonna go screen. Wiskirchen dribbling. Double team, bouncing down in the corner. And lobbed it in. Shot clock at 17. Wiskirchen three is no good. Bounce up. Miles, there he is again. Dribbling in, loops one up, can't get it to go. Rebound snapped up by Lehmans. Off to Landon Wheatley, up to Richard, and gathers, gets it to go. That is one thing. They have a huge squad out there. As Eichen dribbles. Tried to go for the backdoor cut, couldn't get it. Bull running backwards with his hand up in the air. He wanted it. And a three on the way. Three at the buzzer by Magnum Chisholm. and makes it 22-2 at the end of 1 quarter of play here. Let's take this timeout on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We are back here at TSSR Game Time Live. Thank you for being with us. And we'll be here all tournament long as the Panthers looking uphill is the best way to say it, BJ. 22-2 down in this quarter. You see Landon Bull working hard there, kicking it out. The three's on the way, and that has been Cunico has had a huge first quarter. It's his second one up and in. And just continuing the onslaught there, Richart with the steal, looped it up for Bull. And now it is Bull, Landon Wheatley, Cunico, also joined out there by Magnum Chisholm, 3 on the way, and Cunico, another Sports Corner 3. 25-2 lead.
16 for Cunico, 3 3-pointers already.
As the Panthers working around here, trying to make a dent in this lead, cross-court it.
Rockets in his zone now.
Genenbacher, he'll loop it into the corner. Kirchen dribbles, has it tapped away.
Interesting zone, Greg. They got the smallest player on the floor for them was in the middle on the baseline, Magnum Chisholm. And now they man-to-man on the inbounds pass, which usually it's the opposite. You play man-to-man and zone on the out-of-bounds.
Now, see, I'm a different philosopher. I play man-to-man on the inbounds, and we'll play some zone. I prefer not to, but you do what you have to sometimes.
Now they're back in a man.
Genenbacher works it quickly for Eichen. Eichen down the corner, Wiskerchen. And I don't think Niekamp realized how open he was. They just had an easy lay-in, and the rebound snagged by Lehmans. And they work it up quickly. Calling for Bull to come to his side. Now Bull saying, nope, you work it around the other way. Down into him in the lane. And just outmanning everybody underneath there, Niekamp. And he is a solid individual.
Yes, he is. There's some football in that young man's resume, isn't there?
I believe so.
Same with the guy right next to him there, Genenbacher. Those are big kids.
Landon Wheatley looking to get it into the ball game. Lucas McKay out to Bull. Now as it poked away by Wiskerchen, gathers it in, dribbles it up the court, and puts it in. The Panthers cut it to 25-4. Cunico right back the other way in the lane, kicks out to Wheatley. He'll put up a 3. It is short. And that is the typical Western Hall floor 3. Just overestimated the distance, or underestimated the distance, I guess. Wiskerchen, 3 on the way, no good. Snapped up by Lehmans. And Rockridge loves to get it up and down. Bull thought about 3, put it down, drives all the way in, missed the lay-in, got his own board. Puts it up and puts it in.
Talk about shooting here. This is a good tournament for these teams that are going to advance to eventually playing into a bigger gym and sectional, super sectional, to get a feeling of what it's like to shoot with a big open background.
Nice post-up shot, got his own rebound, and goes to put it up was Evan Walker. And yeah, that used to be the magic of playing at this Macomb Western Holiday Tournament. The super sectional many years ago in the 2-class system was always at the state universities, and there was a super sectional here, so it was always kind of a preview.
Mm-hmm.
You could get a feel for Western Hall, which I don't know, folks at home, you realize how much different the background is for a kid shooting in a high school gym and shooting out here. There's a lot of air behind there, and depth perception a little off. Shot up, no good by number 44, Colin Bachhold.
Yeah, we talked earlier, an extra 10 feet of floor as well.
3 on the way by McCain, no good.
It'll wear you out sooner than it will on an 84-foot court.
And especially makes pressing a lot different proposition. Gedenbacher with it. Bachhold to give him a screen, wheels it over. Now throws it away. Cunico running with Ippenson. In the lane he goes. Lays it up, lays it in.
Look at the fundamentals, putting it up with the left hand. You got to love that.
Yep, the left hand. Hard to get kids to use that. And even if you don't make it on the early levels, you got to work on it, because someday you'll do it. Out to Ippenson, quickly swinging over to Gedenbacher. He'll set the 3 short. And Panthers get the rebound. Bachhold with it again. Shot on the way. No good. And we've got a
foul on the rebound against the Panthers, it looks like.
Yep, Gedenbacher picking up the foul.
There's the replay of that left-handed layup by Cunico. That's just fundamentally perfect. We don't do that without practicing it.
No, you don't. Cunico, he's going to spot up the quick 3, a little bit hard off the back throw. Richhart pulling it down. Cunico, beauty of a cut. And that's what you do. You cut toward the basketball, and nice pass. 31-4 the lead here.
How about a 20-point first half, Greg? Sorry to interrupt, but that just makes me happy.
It does.
Cunico with 20 points in 12 minutes.
Richhart, nice spin move. Couldn't get to go off glass. Snapped up there by Miles. And I honestly don't remember. I should look that up, what the all-time scoring record in this tournament is, or for a game. But well on pace with 4 minutes left to go here in this second quarter of play. Cunico with a fake, tried to Euro step his way through. Had to give it out to Landon Wheatley, and they'll go to work.
Now, Randy Bauman, back in 1981 for Northwestern, scored 51 points in a game. So there you go. Not
out of the realm of possibility.
Taylor Bruniga from Illini Bluffs with the tournament record, 134 for a single tournament.
That's pretty good work all the way along. Trapped in there, and Cunico with a near steal. Now they get it, and spill on the floor. Panthers will retain. Gedenbacher with a put the head down, shove him out of the way. I'm going to the basket move.
Look at the midcourt. There's about 6 guys waiting to check into the game. We've had a long stretch with no whistle here. Oh, what a shot by Cunico off the baseline.
And he makes another one.
Now there's 7 guys at the scorer's table.
And it's kind of hard when you have a loose ball over there. I was trying to decide who was on the court and who wasn't. Ippenson holds and waits over to Gedenbacher. Bouncing it in, working it in for Hoosier. Nearly threw it away, got in the corner for Miles, has it picked. And Cunico's off to the races again, got partners ahead of him. Spins right down to Richhart, up and in and good.
Pretty pass.
35-4. That's for that. Gedenbacher walking it up the other way. Comes across the timeline now, holds on, trying to get it to Miles. Goes to Ippenson instead, looking into Bachhold. Puts it on the bounce. Swings it back over. Bachhold again, trying to look, has his pass tipped. Miles able to gather it in on the sideline, goes in the paint. And Gedenbacher with an illegal screen. And we'll have a line shift once again. Walker's coming in, Wiskirchen coming back. Eichen also in. I love that the PA announcer, instead of trying to get everybody, just said mass substitutions on both sides.
Got to do it.
Chase Wheatley up with it now. Bull back on the floor. Chisholm's back there as well, also making his first appearance. Brendan Schulte. Bull right into the lane, even got the ball tipped and just went up anyway. 37-4 lead here. Wiskirchen holds it on the outside.
There really couldn't have been a worse draw for a young Camp Point Central team than against an experienced Rockridge team who's also played the schedule they've played.
Yep. Nice pass up the court.
Wow.
Chase Wheatley with maybe the highlight of the day on the passing. That was
big smile on his face, deservedly so.
3/4 court pass. They'll work it out, looking in at Walker. Nope. Into Wiskirchen dribbling on the baseline, trapped. Wheels it across to Genenbacher. He goes in, puts it up, puts it in, and good. And we go under a minute in the first half, 39-6. Pretty much all Rockridge here. As Chase Wheatley brings it across to Bull. Bull holds, gonna get a screen. Works the far side, wanted the three, pulled it down to Schulte, to Richart. Richart bouncing it out to Bull. Bull thinking, looking to find his way in there, and he'll get fouled. And that'll be Walker with the personal. That's one thing the Panthers have had a little trouble with the reachy grabbies. And Rockridge will bring it in. Bull to trigger, wanted Chisholm, couldn't find Wheatley, finds Richard instead. Richard down the lane, out to Schulte. Schulte a bounce, and as it knocked out of bounds, it'll stay with Rockridge.
Shot clock off, 23 seconds left on the game clock in the half. One of the things about this Rockridge team, you look at the score and say, well, the coach will clear the bench in the second half. They only have 4 on the bench.
Yep.
So one starter is going to be on the floor no matter what.
Bull drops one in, 41-6.
And all you can do at that point, between a shot clock and always having good players on the floor, what do? You just use the clock and try to be as respectful as you can.
3 seconds left. Genenbacher gonna have to shoot. Pops it up and gets it.
There it is.
So a highlight of sorts at the end of the first half of play. It is all Rockridge, 41-9 right here. We're gonna take this time out. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. All right, welcome back here at the half, and it is there we go, much better now. We know, hopefully everybody can hear us. It is the Spooner College halftime show, or MDH halftime show. I was getting confused. We do have some highlights from the first half of play. BJ, take it away.
Well, obviously, when you see the scoreboard, Rockridge was in control early and often. A left-handed layup from Caleb Cunico, 2 of his 20 first half points. He also distributed the ball. There's a rebound by Richard, and that was on a Cunico miss. Cunico came charging down the lane after missing the shot, and Richard found him. More highlights for the Rockets as Cunico shows moves to the baseline, hits the little fade from about 17, mid-range jumper, an unappreciated part of the game right now. Cunico with the steal off the tip ball, leads the break. And he will spin and find at the basket Landon Bull. There's Bull out of the corner now.
And just
to the hole and just powers his way in.
Yep.
He's a man. 41-9 halftime lead for Rockridge, 22-2 after one. They outscored the Panthers 19-7 in the second quarter. Panthers get a buzzer 3 from Elijah Genenbacher. He has 5 points out of their 9 to lead the way for them. But this Rockridge team, after having played a tough schedule, you look at their record at 7-4. They get the number 3 seed. Could they have been the number 1 seed? Any of the top 4 could have been switched around.
Easily.
It's going to be, as we said earlier, a wide-open tournament. A couple shout-outs I want to make here before you read those. Brendan Bauman, listening or watching on YouTube this morning. We talked earlier about Valley High School. Brendan was part of that growing up, so he had to find that school every day. And Leon Gruber, the legendary play-by-play radio guy out of Canton, has been watching this morning, and we want to say hi to Leon.
Leon, always a legend.
Yeah, absolutely. Patrick Ketchum's been watching over in Canton, loves the live stream. And Colin Davis, he and Justin Nelson will be here. They'll call the games for the Canton radio, but they'll also be doing a couple of games this week for TSSR Live. So they were watching this morning as well. And, yes, we do have ESPN Plus up on the screen as part of the overlay. And, hey, what the heck?
Yeah, why not? You never know.
For ESPN.
ESPN, maybe they'll want this. I don't know. Hey, do we need a shout-out? Having slow, unreliable internet just doesn't cut it in 2024. MTC Communications offers lightning-fast, reliable fiber internet, video, phone service, and camera systems to the McDonough, Henderson, and Hancock County areas. Visit mtc.crowdfiber.com to check your availability. Located in the heart of Walnut Grove and in business since 1974, Ryden Farm Supply can meet all your needs for LP, seed, fertilizers, and farm chemicals. Their LP service is unmatched in this area, and as a customer, they'll take care of you. Give them a call today at 309-772-3121. Pawn Plus, proud to have served Macomb and the surrounding area for over 20 years, providing cash for most items of value. Pawn Plus, the area's largest seller of used items, including firearms. They also provide on-site jewelry repairs and are open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday. A great selection of jewelry, electronics, tools, and video games. Located at 324 West Jackson Street in Macomb, between Airco and Taco Bell. See Smilin' John. Smilin' John at Pawn Plus. He'll set you right up. We were talking about that. My former partner, Mr. Keith Yex, was here a little bit earlier today. Always fun. That's one of the fun parts of this Macomb Western Holiday Tournament. A lot of people, even if you have a team, you have a horse in the fight or dog in the fight, people will still come here and watch the games and just, hang out. Hospitality room's always fun. You see people you haven't seen for a while. Always a lot of fun to talk to them and see folks you haven't seen.
Absolutely. And Kurt Oldfield is here. He's the president of Spoon River College. Of course, they're helping to sponsor the event. And look at this text I get from Kurt during the game. We have headsets on that have a band that goes from ear to ear across the top of the head, right? And he says, you need wireless headphones. Those are wearing a bald spot on your head.
Too late for me.
Well, I see that you're shaved.
Yes.
But my son, who's doing the replay, is probably laughing his tail off right now knowing that somebody else feels I have a bald spot. So thanks a lot, Kurt.
There you go. Well, yeah, I am. Just remember your SpongeBob shaved as a hairdo. Hey, that you take it where you can get it. But
I should go to that look. I should match you on that. We could be the Chrome Domes doing the game together.
Oh, that way, cone heads.
Cone heads.
There you go. No, this tournament has been always a lot of fun. Always a lot of fun to be here. Always a lot of fun to work alongside you. I always appreciate that. You and I don't get the chance to get together. You're, of course, on the western side of things and do a fantastic job with that. And Western's had a very, very interesting year so far.
They sure have. Second year for Coach Chad Boudreau, and brought in, as all college teams basically have to, pretty much a new team. 3 returning players and a lot of incoming talent. It's been an up and down year. They picked up some wins against much higher conference ranked foes like San Jose State was a big win for the program. and that was out first week of the year out in California. Then they went down to Mobile, Alabama, beat a very good South Alabama team out of the, I believe, the Sun Belt Conference.
I think that's right.
They've played a lot of what you call playing up, and you know, you got to do that at this level. These teams will pay you to come and play them. It's part of the game anymore, and those bye games help Western Illinois be able to continue to function as they want to as a D1 program, and then when you go out and you take the check and the win, that feels real good.
Oh, that daily double.
Yeah. Now there's been some games that the Letternecks and coaching staff be the first to tell you we'd like to have those games back. So right now the team is at 7-6. They're 1-1 in the OVC. On the road at SIUE, I believe, on the 2nd, Eastern Illinois on the 4th. It's been great being a member of the OVC because they're playing closer games. Lindenwood, Eastern, Southern, all 3-hour drives for the fans to come in to watch the team on the road, and for those fans to come here to Western Hall, which is nice to add to the atmosphere in Western Hall. And more importantly, I think the football coach Joe Davis pointed this out to me in the fall. We're all in the same recruiting footprint.
Yep.
So you're dealing with each other. When you're on the road, your coaches are running into each other saying, we want this kid. No, we want this kid. It makes for a lot of good, fun competition.
It does. And, of course, the transfer portal, that's the one don't get me started on. But, you know, it has changed college sports dramatically. And for a school like Western, there's some difficulties going on here and there and everywhere. It makes recruiting really, really tough.
Now, for your high school parents of high school kids, this new ruling that came out, the judge's ruling in the case against with the quarterback that's been in college for 7-8 years now, is huge for JUCO sports in particular, I think, because the ruling is your JUCO years do no longer count against your 4 years in the NCAA. So if you've got a kid who is not going to be a one-and-done NBA player, okay, but he's going to be a decent player at college level, JUCO is a perfect way to get yourself started.
Yep.
You play 2 years there, and you've still got 4 years of eligibility to go to an NCAA Division I, Division II, or Division I think NAIA doesn't really count against that, but Division I, Division II.
Yeah.
And I mean, think about that. You play 6 years of competitive basketball, or football, or baseball, whatever the sport may be, or softball, or volleyball, and those JUCO years don't count against you. That's going to be interesting. It's
going to change the landscape a lot, as the portal already has. And we get back to the second half here. Cunico, Bull, Richard, also joined by Lehmans and Landon Wheatley. They bring it down to Bull. Bull jumping up and down, wanting it. Fires it over to Cunico. Goes in the lane, kick out to Wheatley. Wheatley wheeling around down to Bull. Bull a couple bounces, nearly had it poked away, and now it does. And the Panthers come up with it. Coming out of there with it is Eichen. Slides around Bull, but throws it away right to Cunico. Cunico to Richard. Richard in the lane, and Bull kind of running some interference, but Richard ran into him.
Blocking back.
There you go.
Well, 41-9 lead at the half here for Rockridge, number 3 seed. They're going to be a tough out throughout this tournament. And that's 4 fouls now on
Genenbacher.
Genenbacher picks up 4.
Cunico in with it, and he missed the lay and a little bit too light.
No, and you saw Genenbacher had to lay off right there. Couldn't go for the block.
Bull matching him up at half court. Pulls it out, wheels it over for Niekamp. Niekamp passes down to Wiskirchen. Couple bounces. Wiskirchen on top. Now they come and work it over for Genenbacher. Wiskirchen 3 is good. Sports corner 3. And cuts it to 41-12. And right back the other way, Lehmans lays it up and lays it in. Found a hole to put it up and in. And now Genenbacher will walk it up. And this is, in a game like this is where you might work a little more offense, depending on who you are. But the shot clock changes that. Shot on the way, no good. Lehmans the rebound, off to Wheatley. And they're off and on the run. Richard to Bull. Bull going to work, spinning, trying to reach his way underneath, and he'll get fouled. As Wiskirchen going to shoot it on the way, or get the foul.
Just his first second team foul of the quarter on Camp Point Central. Mom did not believe that was a foul behind us. That's her prerogative.
Yes, that is. That is. And a little bit short on the free throw.
Now, you've been in these situations on both sides. All coaches have. You've been way down, you've been way up. When you're way up, you want your kids to focus, concentrate on what they do well, and keep playing their game.
Yeah, and stay aggressive.
And not lose their concentration.
Yep.
If you're on the low side of the scoreboard, you're looking for little victories. Well, let's win a quarter. Let's execute our offense. Let's shoot 50%. A lot of things you can do as a coach, come up with at the halftime locker room to try to keep things involved.
Yeah, you try to keep it and just take the positives out of it. In a game like this, you take the positives out. And the biggest thing is always keep playing great defense. Cunico with it in the corner there. That it is. And for the Rockets, it's just hard to you've got to stay aggressive. And you also get some guys, you give them some looks. I know your starters want to play every minute, every game, but you give them some look. Nice pass underneath. And those are types of things you don't want to see if you're a Rockridge Rockets Jordan Harris. Lehman's three the other way, good. Another sports corner three. You don't want to get in habits that'll affect you later in the tournament.
Right.
As the Rockets still putting on a lot of pressure. Out top to Ippenson, over to Genenbacher. A little high on the pass. Holds, dribbles lane. Nice pass underneath. And they out to Ippenson. Another one of those phantom kick. As Genenbacher tries in, and Cunico takes it up. Bull running ahead of the pack in the lane, goes up. Just told Ippenson, get out of here.
You can put a big body on Bull, and he loves it.
Yep.
And he will. What's the word I'm looking for here? He will
enjoy it.
Enjoy it. He will. He will will it that he will push you back down. Nothing violent, just basketball.
Both Wheatleys on the floor now. Lehman's holds it on the near side, gets a pick from Cunico. Out to Rich Hart. And shot is up, no good by Wheatley, rebounded by the Panthers, and they'll come out of there with it. Genenbacher wheels it over. They bring it on the outside to Miles. Miles faking, looking. Ippenson holds it now, coming over to Genenbacher. Genenbacher puts it on the bounce. Down the corner, Miles. 16 on the shot clock underneath, and Bachhold missed it off the bottom of the rim. Out with it comes Wheatley over to Richard. He'll go in the lane and puts it up, misses it. Genenbacher the rebound. Genenbacher in the lane. He goes, loops it up, no good. Rebound snapped up by Chase Wheatley. And back they'll come the other way. Nice look to Lehman. That is his second really good pass. Lehman's couldn't gather it in. And I'll tell you, some of the little things you work on if you're up big in a game like this, you may try an offense that you've only put it in a little bit in practice, but you want to have it for the rest of the year. You try it. You challenge your team. Hey, let's make 6 passes before we get a shot. Let's do little things like that because there are things you can work on. And again, gives you a chance to get a look at some guys in a game time situation that you might not get otherwise.
I've heard the coaches at the college level say, let's get that on film so that when somebody's scouting us, that's just another thing they got to think about.
Yep.
So let's get another look on film. Let's show them another option that we have so they can't ignore it.
And that also works for yourself as well. You put that, and then you can say to the players in practice, hey, this should have gone here, here, here.
Right.
And just another way to see what you can do, test yourself. Try various lineup combinations that you may not have tried before. Go short, go small, go big.
It's interesting. I'm finding out that with football coaches and basketball coaches, complete opposite. Football coaches don't want anybody seeing what they can do. Everything's a secret. I don't want that game left up on YouTube. I don't want them seeing how we run things. Yeah. And basketball coach show them everything. Put it all on film.
Yep. I always tell kids that as Gettenbacher drives there and makes a nice move underneath, gets a foul. Always tell kids that if we run it well, it's not going to matter.
Right.
If we run it the right way and we run it, it's not going to matter what they do. And that's and of course I get shakes of the head and eye rolls, but philosophy I've always believed, saw that a long time. Just if you run it right, it's not going to matter whether they've seen it a million times or not. And if they combat it, then I'll change to something else.
And if you find yourself doing things too much, in
Yeah.
other words, I'm going to drive every time I get the ball. Sometimes the coach will say, hey, step back and shoot a three. You've got to show them that so that they respect that.
Yep.
If you do the same thing every time, that's how they're going to defend you.
Three up and on the way in. Good by Lucas McKay. Another Sports Corner three. 55-15 here. 2 minutes left to go. It's been a very quick third quarter. Haven't had many stoppages.
Do they roll the clock in the tournament like they do in the regular season?
Will in the fourth quarter. And a reach-in foul by Lehman's. Try to get over the top of Walker.
Lehman trying to feel around his lips and mouth area to see if there's a little blood.
As they wing it in the lane of Walker. Walker dribbling on Richard, puts it up, puts it in, and good. It's a bug it back, 55-17. And that is my assumption. They will, with the 30-point rule, roll it in the fourth quarter, if it is that margin. Lehman's a nice fake, drives in the lane, loops it up, loops it in. He's got a nice game going as well. And I'm sure the Illini West coaches watching saying, man, who do you stop? You've got Bull. Cunico's had a huge game. Lehman's is doing some good things.
I think it's safe to say this one is pretty much not in doubt as to who's going to come out on top. So we can tell you that
Gettenbacher with another 57-19. As Wheatley up and nice block from behind from Eichen.
So Camp Point Central will be back here tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock against Brown County if you're planning to attend that game. And then Illini West, as Greg said, is watching with interest here as they've got Rockridge at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon if things hold here. And Rockridge and Illini West will be the first two teams in the championship 8.
Richard going to dribble it down, puts it off glass, can't get it to go. And I will say these Western rims play much differently than a lot of your standard high school rims.
Think they're tighter?
Yeah, I definitely a lot tighter. As they bring it inside, Bachhold going up, and he'll get fouled. Yeah, I would say a lot tighter. And you can the bounce is just a little bit different. And that always, of course, most high school gyms, the rim is attached to the wall or attached to the ceiling, whereas these are on these mobile stanchions, and it is a whole different feel to it. It's hard to explain, but if you watch, you see Bachhold getting up in there and fight. It's a whole different bounce, and it changes rebounding angles and everything.
Well, and when you see the college guys like throw down a dunk, for instance, you see a lot of shake out of that backboard that you do not get when it's attached to the wall.
Yep. No, you get a great big hole in the plexiglass. As Richard driving in, putting up and in.
Nice drive by him.
Under a minute we go here in this third quarter as the Panthers bring it up at the throttle as Cruz Miles over to Wiskirchen, drives in, reverse is good. Pretty reverse.
He's got 7. Rockridge had 4 on the bench to start the game, 9 players in uniform. Look over there. I only see 3, Greg.
Yeah, I don't.
Somebody.
We lost somebody. There was a mid-game trade. I don't know. There could have been. I don't think he can do that. High school. Richard drops home the 3, and that's another thing to think about. Haven't seen him shoot one yet. There he goes. 62-21, 17 seconds. Ippenson in the lane, spun out of there. Out to Miles. Shot clock is off. Gets a pick. Swings it to Wiskirchen. He'll dribble down. Ippenson dribbles, shoots shot, no good. Richard snaps it up. and they'll fire that one a little bit short. 62-21 at the end of 3 quarters of play. Need to thank some more of our very fine sponsors, such as Tom Conklin State Farm, face-to-face, over the phone, by email, or by text. You choose how you do business with Tom Conklin State Farm Macomb. You can reach him at 309-837-1200 or visit them online at www.macombsf.com. Better yet, stop in and get your quote today at 1221 West Jackson Street in Macomb. And folks at McDonough District Hospital, athletic trainers and MDH Rehabilitation Center, locations in Bushnell and Macomb, provide expert help to all student athletes in the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of athletic injuries. Learn more at mdh.org. McDonough District Hospital, more than hospital care, a hospital caring. And I know the MDH trainers on site here today.
Keeping everybody as healthy as possible. Next game coming up, Peoria Christian, the number 2 overall seed. The Chargers will play Farmington. And if you are joining us here for the first time on TSSR Game Time Live, what you need to do after this game ends, close this stream, go back to the YouTube main page, find the next game, click on it, open it up. You'll see maybe broadcast starting soon screen, something like that. And then we'll be on shortly after. About 15 minutes between games in these first 4 games.
Might be a little more with this one. I don't know if they'll start early or not.
That's true. That's going to be a running clock during the 4th quarter.
Wisconsin has it erased by Cunico. And they will bring it in. It is indeed the running clock. As triggered in, we'll get the lineups for you here. It is Hoosier. Out top with it is Eichen, joined out there by Niekamp, Ginnenbacher, and Miles. Ginnenbacher to the lane, skids and travels with it.
Happy to report the 4th is back on the bench for Rockridge, so everybody's okay.
Hey, you kind of wondered, I think it was McKay that had gone off. Bull with it now. He's joined out there by Wheatley, Cunico, Lehmans, and also by McKay. Bull thought 3, puts it down, drives in, kick out to Wheatley. 3 is up, and it is short. Bull right there, though, for the rebound.
Such a smart basketball player. Great steal by Wheatley at midcourt.
And he'll work it to Cunico. Cunico down, out for Wheatley again. And no good. And he's very frustrated is the best way to say it. Miles down with it, works it in the corner. It is Eichen, or is Hoosier rather, an appropriate basketball name.
Yeah, great name.
McKay's going to commit the personal on Miles. And for the Panthers, you don't want to put your head down too much. I always tell kids, hey, forget it. If you have a game where you struggle, you just forget it, go on. It's done, it's over with. We move on to tomorrow, especially these tournaments. That's one of the handy things is you have to put it away and go right back to work the next day.
Yep. What I do like, though, in this particular tournament is there are no days where you play twice.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that, never have been. I realize some tournaments have to do that. But at least in this one, you don't seem to have a lot of 2 games in a day.
Basically, the last day you will have like a morning and an evening game, but overall, I think they've done a good job of not doing that. McKay drops the 3. And we've got a substitution timeout.
So we are seeing for the last time here Wheatley, number 4, the elder Wheatley, number 3, Cunico, number 12, Lehmans, and number 34, Bull. Richard will stay out, and the 4 guys that were on the bench come in to join him.
Central bring it up here. Ippenson roaring up the sideline. Ginnenbacher going to get a screen there, dribble down, looking back out to Ippenson. He'll bring it in the lane to Bachhold. And we'll have to bounce it back out as Richard was there. Now wheels it down. Zone put on here by Rockridge. Wisconsin counting down to 10 on the clock. Ginnenbacher in the lane. Out to Wisconsin. 3 is up, no good. And the rebound tipped around. We'll see who it's off of. It'll stay with Central. And Walker's going to trigger it in for them. In for Ippenson, and he'll be fouled on the way up there. Yes, and it counts. And I think Chisholm saying, hey, somebody's got to help me. Look like he's a little late to the party.
First bucket for the freshman, Luke Ippenson.
And he'll put it on the way. It is good. As back will come Chisholm, leading the charge now. Kicks it out for number 32, Schulte. Up top for McKay, swinging over. Wheatley again down in the corner for Richard. Looked like they were trying to post up Chase Wheatley. And ball kicked around, going to go out of bounds. Out of bounds to the Panthers.
That is the correct call.
He's better than I am because I didn't see them make the motion, but I get a little distracted at times.
I think the official that was over there in front of the scorer's table just yelled out the uniform color.
There you go.
That way you save energy. You don't have to put your arm up.
Genenbacher with it. It does not help the broadcaster, however.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, what the broadcasters need is not usually a consideration. Walker with the rebound. Wiskirchen faking the three. Drives on Chisholm. Looped it down for Niekamp.
You say that, and I'm down at some of these games, and they've got a TV crew sitting next to me. Mm-hmm. And if there's one of those replays, the refs will come over and tell the TV crew what happened. They won't come and bother the radio guy.
No, they never do. We know what happened just as much as anybody else did. Speaking as a former radio guy. And Genenbacher dribbling it, got a blocking foul called on Chisholm.
Chisholm giving up a little bit of size and weight to the football-built Genenbacher there.
Miles coming in, also checking back in. Hoosier. Now they bring it in. Miles going to walk it across the floor.
Tatum Aiken is back in for Central.
Now hold it out here, trying to work on some things. Walker holds it, coming down to Miles. Okay, nice cut, but that one's stolen by Wheatley off to Chisholm. Back to Wheatley, and away they'll go, and that is Chase Wheatley, not Landon. And nobody picked him up, tried to throw it down to Richard, couldn't get it there. Three up and on the way, no good by Schulte. And the Panthers will rebound. We go under 2 minutes left to go here in this first half, or the fourth quarter, sorry. Wiskirchen, oh, nice look, but Walker wasn't quite ready. And now Schulte will bring it across half court. Quick pump and look by Lucas McKay is good. 70-24 the lead. As they continue to walk along here, pulling a hold. As dribble, nice try. Richard pulls it down. And Chase Wheatley will come out of there with it. Walking it up here for the last minute and 13 of this ball game. He double dribbled it. Just kind of lost hand. I don't know, BJ, I'm not going to ask, am I crazy? Because I know what your answer is going to be. But the balls, I don't know, they look a little different to me, the ones they're using here. I know they're Wilson's, but a very orange ball. Usually they're a little more, I guess, deeper orange to me.
A little worn in.
Yeah.
You know, players don't like new basketballs. They like ones that have been used and a little stickier.
Yeah.
New ones can be slippery.
I mean, was always a big fan of the Rawlings, but Wilson's been the high school basketball for a long time.
Well, this is the NCAA version. I wonder if that maybe is part of the reason you're.
That could be.
Because they make them very bright for television.
And that's they just seem high school ones seem a little darker always to me.
I've noticed that with football. You'll go look at a football in the store and it's a kind of a medium brown. Then you watch the football games in the NFL and the football's darn near black.
Yeah.
It is dark as can be, even in the night games.
Yeah.
How do these guys see this stuff?
Well, makes you wonder. Made the first, missed the second. Chisholm able to scoop up the miss, and with 5 seconds left to go here, that'll be it. 70-25, big win by the Rockridge Rockets.
Yep, and before we sign off in the second game, we can tell you that Rockridge will play tomorrow at 4 o'clock against Illini West. And Brown County will be the opponent for Camp Point Central. at 9 a.m., both of those games here in Western Hall. Greg, they tell me we have some highlights for this second half. Let's take a look at those quickly. As Rockridge had a heck of an output. Let's see some of the stuff that Camp Point Central did well. 3 out of the corner. Swish for Wisconsin. Hunico led all scorers with 24. Picks up the ball in the corner. Little head and shoulders fake. Then he knew that his pivot foot was in the place where it needed to be, where he wasn't traveling. That's a great play by him for 2. And a 3 from Lehmans, who hit a few from the outside. Back the other way. Big block by Hunico. Lehmans ahead, and Landon Bull is already down there to say, I got this.
Yep.
You know, Lehmans has a nice mustache. Bull has a nice beard. I think Rockridge leads the tournament so far in
facial hair. Yep.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Nice hoop there for Evan Walker for
and
Camp
once
Point.
again,
and then,
Lehman's beauty of a fake.
That was pretty. And there you see some of the highlights of the action that happened here earlier today in that game that ultimately was won. Here's another one. Inside it goes to
Genenbacher,
who led Camp Point with 8 points in the game. So a 70-25 final. Our screen is going black occasionally here, guys, so we can't see all the highlights you're playing us, but a good highlight package you see put together downstairs to give you an idea of some of the better plays that happened in today's game. Now we're back live. 70-25, the final in that one. Greg, it was established early, 22-2 after 1. It was pretty much the deal.
And you know that's going to catch the attention of a lot of people in this tournament, the way they burst out here. A lot more games on the way. We're going to wrap this one up, and we'll be back again a little bit later with more action. I believe it is Farmington and Peoria Christian. Is that right? Coming up here very, very quickly here at the Macomb Western Holiday Tournament. This has been TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
How early are we?